Hello, something isn't right here. Hang on. I'm going to put him up. That's it. Cheers, Colin. That's it. We're better now. Philip's on top. And we're actually going to put Mia here because ladies should be on top too. So there you go. I'm down at the bottom. But hi and welcome everyone to THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham, past, present, and the exciting future under Mr. Ange Postecoglou as Tottenham again strike early in the transfer market. Eric Dyer leaving the club. Hugo Lloris left the club. We've got Rudu in. We've got, who else we've got in? We've got Vernon in. We've got more players coming in. This is going to be a great window for Tottenham, and I'm so excited. But welcome to the show, guys, and welcome to the roundtable discussion. And with me, of course, on this brilliant show, of course, is my usual co-host, the one and only Mr. Philip Brady, a.k.a. the Navigator, the Eric Dyer agent, the super agent that gets all the big business done. Philip, how are you this evening?
I just wondered who you were talking about there for a minute, but I'm grand. Yeah, I'm good. I said I'm glad the dire scenario seems to be coming to an end anyway. So.
And also, of course, joining us, of course, is Mia, aka Scrappy Doo. We need to show Mia a bit of love tonight. She's not feeling too good. She's a bit stressed. So let's all be kind. Mia, how are you? And I hope you're keeping all right. I know why, but I just hope you're keeping all right.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah. And then down below, of course, is the one and only Mr. Full-Time Sports Network Colin, the man himself, Bobby's right-hand man, who does everything for Bobby from putting streams together to helping Ten Hag get Man United into the right way. And how are you tonight, Colin?
Yeah, I'm not bad, thank you. Thanks for having me on. It's going to be a good discussion, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is going to be a good discussion. Looking forward to it. Right, just a bit of housekeeping before we hand it over to Philip. Now we do have a yellow and red car and VAR service in for tonight. So if anyone gets out of order, they will be given a yellow card. Then before it goes to red, we will take it to the VAR. Just that everyone in the chat has to go to VAR. And then if you do really misbehave, and then it is, I'm sorry, it's the early bath time for you. It is. I just want to say that's more for Philip at me than anyone else on the channel tonight. So,
I was about to say, can I just get a red card so I can get out of here? Is that all right?
No. We'll have to take it to a VAR decision. Hang on, we're going to VAR. What to do? But Philip, you are hosting the show tonight, sir. So it's over to you.
Thanks, Dermot. Thanks very much. Right, a few subjects to deal with tonight. Very, very relevant to what's been going on at the minute. And the first one we're going to bring up is we're now 6 months into the Ange Postecoglou reign. He took over on the 1st of July, and we're now just gone by the 6 months anniversary, if you like. And I don't think the most optimistic Spurs fan could have envisaged him making so much progress in that 6 months. We knew it would be good. We didn't think it might be as quick as this. And he's according to, I was watching Sky Sports this evening, and I was quite amazed. They actually admitted that Postecoglou revolutionised the club, and the Spurs had done some great business so far in the window, and that the other clubs were looking up to them, which is, compared to what you normally hear on Sky, is quite nice to hear. So I'm just going to go around the panel here and see what the best moment has been, your best moment has been in the season so far since Ange took over with that first game at Brentford back in August. So Mia, I'll go to you first on this. What is your most memorable moment under Ange?
Oh, I think it have to be. I don't think there's anything specific I can say, but probably his press conferences, because I think that whatever he says is just so spot on with everything he says. I think, when he said to the guy when he was putting his microphone on, you could at least ask my name first. Something like that. Like, I love his little quick whips that he does. He does he's very quick-witted, and I just love it when we see him in press conferences. It always makes my day because he's always got something funny to say or a little comment, like when he said about the do you wrap them in bubble wrap, and he's like, oh no, chicken coop, something about chicken and why or something, and I was just like, he's so funny. The things that he just says is just hilarious. So yeah, probably he's brilliant press conferences for me.
And do you think that, you know, we've had to endure, the word is quite relevant for this, Antonio Conte's press conferences, where you need to be sort of a psychologist to translate what he was actually saying into what he was actually meaning. It's so good now, I think, to have a straight talking Aussie there that just says it off the hip. Everyone understands exactly what he's saying. And I don't think he'll take any crap from anybody. Like I believe he admonished some reporter this week, don't ever question my, I don't know where it was, don't ever question my
Integrity, I think he said.
Yeah, integrity, that's right. You know, so that's the sort of thing is. So before we get Colum's view as a kind of an outsider looking in on the Tottenham scene, what do you reckon? What's your best moment?
I think it's the way he's reshaped the club. I think the way we're playing, I think like Sheffield United never give up. The Chelsea game, even though we lost, the way we kept on the high front, there's been a lot of positives. Even with the transfer window, even with the summer window, there was a lot of positives. The January window has been fantastic. And the way he's got everyone going in the same direction. He did it up at Celtic, and he's doing exactly the same thing here at Tottenham when he did north of the border. So, yeah, I mean, 6 months in, I'm absolutely more in love with Ange now than I was from the first day he walked through the doors at Tottenham.
Very good. And Colin, you've been watching Spurs from an outside looking in prospect, being a Manchester United fan. So, you know, well, I wouldn't expect you to remember any specific matches. Is there anything that Ange has done that sort of said, hang on, that's the right way to do things?
You know, there's two things for me. The first one is obviously it made all Liverpool fans and Jurgen Klopp cry, which is absolutely amazing for me. You know, yeah. But the thing is, I think the most important thing for me is, you know, I mean, I'm a Man United fan. Last season, I think I watched Spurs when we played you, and that was about it. Whereas now I tend to watch Spurs a lot more because you're playing such an attractive style of football. You know, you're actually bringing the beautiful game, as we know it's called, to the Premier League. And it's such a nice, it's so easy on the eye to watch. It's just amazing to actually watch what he's done at Tottenham.
Yeah, true enough. You know, I think we were brought on. Now, unfortunately, I can say maybe United are possibly going through at the moment what we went through last season under Antonio Conte. Not that we weren't a good watch. We were struggling to get results in games that we should normally be winning. So, you know, I think it's good to hear a neutral view on that you like watching Tottenham, because we've fallen out of love with the club nearly last season. We really have, because of the stuff that was being produced. It was terrible to watch, and we got what we deserved at the end of last season, non-qualification for Europe, because we didn't deserve to qualify. This season, it's a different kettle of fish. My favorite moment, because there's a number of them, but I think the most significant game for me was the 3-3 draw at Manchester City. Like, I know we always give City a good game, and we're their bogey team as such, but I think the way that we kept coming back in that game and never say die attitude, I think that really summed up for me what he's done to the club. And let's hope we can continue it in the FA Cup game that's coming up in a couple of weeks.
I just want to add a question to the panel as well. Whoever wants to go first can go first. Where do we take much confidence into that FA Cup game with the way Ange played up at Main Road against City in that 3-3 draw? Can we take really confidence into that?
We can, but City have played 5 times at our new stadium and they haven't even registered a goal yet. Okay, but my fear is by the time they play us, they will have Haaland and De Bruyne back, and they want to prove a point. We can certainly take confidence, but it's going to be one hell of a game. It's going to be one hell of a game, and if we want to win trophies this season, this is a game we must win.
Yeah,
Mia, what do you say?
Yeah, I think that the odds are on our side at our stadium. However, yes, they will have players back, but now I'm confident we've got players coming in. We're going to have players hopefully back ourselves. It looks like that could be a possibility. So I think it will be a really good match, and I do see them scoring at our ground. I think this time I do see that. But if we're going to win a cup, we're going to have to play the big teams. We have to beat the best to be the best. So I'm not going into it with any fear, but I think that actually Man City's fans, that was the worst draw they could have ever got. A lot of them were like, no, I didn't want it. And that says a lot. Big Man City are worried about coming to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So, yeah.
Sorry, Philip. I just want to say big up to Wilton McDonald as well for joining us. Big up, Wilton. It says good evening all. Evening.
Colin, I presume you'll be wanting Spurs to win that game.
100%. I'll be a Spurs fan that game. 100%.
What do you mean that game? We know you're secretly a Spurs fan.
No, I'm not secretly a Spurs fan at all. But no, I mean, yeah, you go into that game full of confidence, 100%. You know, you've got a good record against them at the minute. But I mean, I think I've said it in the chat before. You know, Haaland currently is misfiring, but once he's got De Bruyne back behind him, you know, most of his goals last season came through De Bruyne. I think it's going to be a very, very tough game. It's not going to be probably as easy. You know, I think they'll come out with a full force.
Yeah, I expect that. Fully expect that.
I don't expect. I think. Look, I've said it, and I'm gonna stick to my guns. I think Man City won't win anything this season. I just don't think they've got the hunger there. And you look at the likes of Tottenham and Liverpool as well have got the hunger. I just think Man City won't be successful this season. I know you all disagree with me, but that's my opinion. I'm sticking to my guns on that. I think the hunger's gone for Man City. And I just feel it's the key. Just they want to retain the Champions League. Everything else, I think, for them would be a bonus if they won it. For them, it's Champions League. Just end off this year.
They won't want to lose their title either, but they won't want to lose the title. There's got to be some pride involved there, you know.
Nothing would make me happier than see Man City win absolutely nothing. But yeah. I just think, you know, they've done this before. They've had a slow start to the season, and in its second half, they've absolutely blitzed it. And I just think it's coming again.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I feel that's the way I feel as well. But anyway, listen, we will see what happens on that. We've got two. I think the date has been fixed for that match. I don't know if it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I haven't actually seen I just saw the headline, the date fixed for Man City game. Anybody know when we're playing them?
I'll double check that now. For
I
didn't.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll just read another couple of points here. What the Point FC is saying. Didn't know Ronald McDonald was in the chat. Right. Okay. Which one of you is Ronald McDonald? Dermot? No.
Oh, because Wilton McDonald's in the chat. Philip McDonald. Together.
I see. Sorry, I get it. Sorry, wasn't the thing. Yeah. And Wilton is saying, my take on Ange is we now have a manager who is honest and straightforward. He does not spin a yarn like the others do. Yeah. Levy and everyone at the club show him the respect he deserves. Well, he seems to be getting it, Wilton. It would appear to be. Like in my lifetime, I can never remember Spurs doing so much dealings in the first 10 days of a transfer window. And I think it's a sign that the worm may have turned a bit here, and he realizes he's got a manager he needs to keep happy. And he seems to be doing it. So, you know, here we go. And what's the point? Is
what's going on?
I'm trying to make sense of this one. I'm a single farming man looking for a wife, and no teeth is acceptable. All she needs to be able to do is plough my field for me using my horse name good for nothing. Okay.
I don't know what
I'm not quite sure where that one's coming from, but anyway.
What's the point, mate?
What's the point? What's the point?
I've got a thing for you. It's called BarnsleyDating.com.
Lovely. Right, we're not even asked what sort of dates they are, but anyway, Neil Benjamin is saying Friday the 26th. Oh, so it's a Friday night match, right? Interesting. That's, you know, again, here we go. The FA or BBC or ITV, whoever is showing this match, showing little concern for the Manchester City fans. That game's going to finish at 10:15 at night. No trains back to Manchester, probably. You know, it's tough. It could have been exactly the same if we'd been drawn to play at their ground. We'd have to do the same going back to London. So just have a bit of concern for the fans, please, once and for all. And
not really. fans, they basically bought everything who could have possibly cheated Sodom.
You ain't got to worry about them. They can all get an afford Mondeo. It's fine.
Yeah,
yeah.
I actually, I don't usually agree with me and disagree with you, Philip, but I'm actually agreeing with me on this one. Sod them.
No,
there's
but
only three of them.
I'm talking generally now about. I'm not
Three?
talking
That's, you mean two? One of them's the driver, and then that's it. One other one.
Well, I'm just taking into account that one of them might have a child with them or something, you know.
Who would take their child to that cruelty? Like,
Well,
that's
I was
mean.
going to say, Colin, it wouldn't affect Manchester United so much because most of their fans live in London anyway. So they wouldn't be getting.
Oh no, it would, because we've got most of our fans have got to get flights back to China.
Oh, right. Okay. Anyway, the red card is saying the Premier League Giants will clash at 8 p.m. and the action will be broadcast live on ITV1. Right. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just saying, I'm not talking about Man City. I'm just talking generally. It can be very difficult for fans with a long away trip to get home again after a night game. It starts at 8 o'clock and it's Nova till 10. Hello.
Big up to Ash. Right, sorry, Ash. Ash, sorry, I have to give you this. I'm sorry. I have to
There
give
we
you
go.
this.
You've been dying to do this.
You got a yellow card now for being late. You know, we're all on top. You're late.
Terrible.
Yellow card.
Ash, just before we move on to the next subject, we'll ask you the same question here as everybody else. What's your best moment for Ange's 6 months in charge so far?
Good question. I reckon best moment. That's a tough one. Arsenal, I'd say. Arsenal's ground causing them up.
Yeah. I went for the 3-3 at City, but you know, it's. I suppose
I think
Arsenal
because they were rearing it up, say we're going to get smacked about 4-0, 4 this. That's what I was hearing all week. And we went to their ground and we had no respect. And I kind of like that. I haven't had that feeling for a long time where we've gone to our rivals and actually just bantered them at their ground and done exactly the opposite. So I think giving it
Arsenal for you.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, no, I think that was one of the moments. You know, in general, his comments are just off the cuff. He's just quick with it. He's been a delight. I like him and Gary Neville, when Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher were just blowing him off, like just sucking him off, because literally like, oh yeah, I just copied Pep. That was pretty dope. I like that. I thought it was cool for that.
Yeah.
That's what I said about his comments. I said his comments, man. His comments are wicked.
I think Mia should have the right to respond to this comment. What's
yes,
the point?
I think so.
Yeah, there you go.
Listen, anybody's gonna make me live on a farm, they end up in the pigsty. Just know, if you know in it.
Just Mia, just let him down gently. You're too harsh. Can you not?
I think that's a red card offence.
Mia.
Especially if the farm's in.
No, but what's the point?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right. Anyway, we'll just do that now. And then this next topic we'll have a quick chat about. Transfer window. How would you rate it so far? And I'll be asking to give everyone a score out of 10 on this one, because I think the score should be fairly high. But Ash, I'll go to you first on this.
I'll give it a 7. I think I'll give it a 7, only because we needed to address the centre-back issue from the summer. And we've finally done that. So, yeah, we've replaced, hopefully, because we don't actually know yet. And the kid is raw. It's a lot of expectation riding on him. And he's played in Serie A or Serie A for 6 months, hasn't he? Mm-hmm. And the season before that, he was in Serie A. So, do you know what I mean? In terms of experience, I know everyone's gassed like, oh my goodness, we got to set it back. Because we've been starving, that's the reason why I'm like 7. Do you know what I mean? And I've got high hopes for him. I know he's raw, but I'm hoping that he's going to push Romero to the next level, because Romero, all of a sudden, like, he's just like, you know what? I'm available for United. And I love that. I like the fact that no one's position is safe. That's how it should be, in my opinion. And I think that's the reason why I'm rating it the 7 out of 10. Obviously, you've got an attacker. We've got the attacking situation. I'm seeing it like Son's gone to the Asia Cup, and we've just quickly addressed that. Look, we knew that when we brought Brian Hill on, he's just not it. And we're like, listen, we need to bring someone that's got a bit more experience, a little bit more quality than what Brian Hill gives us. Now, I'm not saying Brian Hill's a terrible player, but there's levels to this. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying even my man's going to like tear it up, but at least now there's an option. When Son's gone, we're going to have, we'll see what Werner does. We'll see what Werner does in that position. And when Son does come back, hopefully we can rotate a little bit more. So yeah, I'll give it a 7.
7, okay. Colin, as an outsider looking in there, what would you say? What do you reckon?
A 2 because I'm jealous. No, it's been solid. I think I'd have to give it a 7. I think the only position you now need really is a midfielder, another midfielder bringing in. You know, as much as Dermo loves Højbjerg, I think, you know, it's starting to show that is lacking the quality that's needed now at this level. I think you need to bring somebody in to replace him. And if you get that in, then, you know, 100%, I think you're a solid 9.
Mia, what do you think? What's your score on the door?
I would say 7.5. If we get a few more out, I think that will be a really, really good window, and get a midfielder in. Højbjerg out.
Right. Okay, that's short and sweet. Dermot, are you going higher or lower?
I don't know what these other two Tottenham fans have taken in their dinner tonight. It's so bloody low. Where's your optimism? Where's your, you know, we've bought early. When have Tottenham ever bought early in the transfer window?
There's still more to do. There's still room for like stuff
Eric
like
Dyer
room to
out.
get stuff done.
Hugo Lloris out. We've got Vernon in. We've got a centre back in. We're building for the future. I give it 8 out of 10. 8.5.
I think the 2 words we have to look for in that query is so far. We're not rating it as a done deal yet. We're rating it so far. You know?
Look, on the Højbjerg point, I agree that Højbjerg needs to go. I agree Højbjerg has now not been good enough. When I saw him in the Brighton game, ducking 2 challenges and pulling out of challenge, I said to you at the watch along, didn't I, Philip? That's me. That I won't accept that. And for me as well, I think, look, I would love Gallagher to come. But I think that might end up, I'm hearing, as a loan deal to begin with, because we cannot afford, because we spent most of January money. But that may be a loan deal, or Calvin Phillips or somebody like that. But I do feel Højbjerg, if he doesn't go in January, will be leaving in the summer. But for me...
See, but then, if that's for me, would make the whole, like, so far, the window 7.5, if we keep him, I think that would make me feel like, no, we're not moving people on that we need to. Like, Hill needs to go, Perisic needs to go, Højbjerg needs to go. That, for me,
Perisic is retiring is going to Croatia at the end of the season.
Yeah, so he might as well go now. So get rid of his wages, let him go.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. That's why that would be a good window if them things happen, in my humble opinion.
But then you're on the work then of cancelling contracts. It doesn't. I was hearing Sean and Dave today, and I agree with it. Cancelling contracts isn't the way forward.
Sean the Donut says that. We don't listen to him.
I agree with them. I don't think cancelling contracts is the way forward.
No, I do get that, but with Perisic, it's a very he hasn't got long left. And if we want him to go and get his wages off of the wages are important, because those wages take up a lot. Because he's on high wages, you know. He's not on small money.
Look, I just think, you can't do everything in. We've only had 2 windows. We've had a very good summer window. We've had an excellent January window. And I think we'll back it up again.
Excellent. I would say reasonably good. I'll say I'd say good.
Well,
so far.
Philip, where do you go?
My take on it is this, right? Yeah. Perisic, I would cancel his contract. Simply because he's not playing for the club again, right? Let him go, recuperate wherever he wants in Croatia, and then start his new club next season. He's a drain on our finances at the minute for nothing, because he's never going to play again. It's different if some players like you might want to cancel the contract. Okay, 2 of them have gone now, being Hugo Lloris and Eric Dyer. But they actually have a chance of play. Well, Dyer had a chance of playing, but Perisic is dead money. So love the guy to bits, but let him go back to Croatia and recuperate there. As regards my score on the thing, like if you look at it, we've got rid of, it sounds very cruel. Hugo Lloris has left the club. Derek Dyer has left the club, albeit on loan, but that's the end of him anyway. Jed Spence has left the club, right? We brought in Timo Werner, and we brought in Dracula. I call him Dragusin. I think by the 11th of the month, I don't think any of us really thought we'd have as much done. So I'm going literally on the so far. There's a bit of wording on that question, and I'm giving it a 9. And I think it can even get better if as Mia says, we get rid of more of the deadwood during the next 2 or 3 weeks. And we also bring in a box-to-box midfielder now. A box to
Ash should put his hand up like he's at school. I was going to go, yes.
I'll let you in a second, Ash. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, we get a box-to-box midfielder, and I think we've done a really, really good window. Ash, at the back of the class there, putting up your hand. Go on.
Is 7 out of 10 bad? I'm confused. I thought 7 out of 10 is good. Huh? Is 7 out of 10 bad?
No.
Well,
it's so far.
But it's like, right, Ash, what's going on? I'm thinking 7 out of 10. I'm obviously, if look, I don't know, everyone's got different expectations. Like for me, if I'm going for 9 out of 10, we've got someone like in to replace Kane. That's for me 9 out of 10. Or the midfielder we're bringing in is like when was the last time everyone's got super excited like that Van der Vaart kind of signing? When's the last time we had that kind of Christmas type of feeling? I'm just saying 7 out of 10 for me is good. It's not like 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. You know, I'm trying to say. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I tell you what, Ash. I tell you what. I have heard. I'm waiting to get it confirmed from the person that me and Philip use. Tottenham have booked a medical for Friday, the end of the week. So I'm waiting to get that confirmed. I don't know if that's just a story being put out there, but I'm waiting to get it confirmed. Also, we are after a midfielder now. Hopefully, in the next few days, I may get a bit of news on that. But look, I think I'm right to say, and I don't know if I am, but I'm going to put this as a rumor. Right, there is a rumor going around that Tottenham and Chelsea are talking about Gallagher, but as a loan to buy in the summer. So I can get it fully confirmed, and yet 100%, I'm going to class that as a rumor. So that's what I'm hearing. But we are going for a midfielder. So Ange will get what he's won, and Ange's been backed. And I'm going to say fair play to Levy for doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And Levy gets enough criticism when he doesn't do things. Yeah. I think it's only fair to give him a bit of credit when he does stand behind the manager, which he's doing now, it appears. Now, he should have done it for the previous 3 managers, but, you know, better late than never, I suppose. Dermot, could you bring up some of the comments there that have just come in, just so we have a look at them before we go on?
I've got one there in front of you there, Philip.
Yeah, Neil Benjamin Sky saying, it's fancy looking great now. And we still have Joe Roden, who's getting rave reviews for Leeds. Yeah, Rodon's doing quite well up at Leeds. Fair dues. You nearly forget he's still in our books, you know?
What about the youngster that we're linked with? The couple of youngsters. There's the Hayden Hackney from Middlesbrough, and there's the other guy from Blackburn. Adam, was it Adam Wharton?
Yeah.
And don't forget, we have this young Croatian lad coming in next summer as well when he turns 18. He's supposed to be another one for the future, you know. So the future is looking extremely good for Tottenham at the minute if they can keep this going, if they can keep the momentum going and keep bringing in the good players, you know. Anyway, Carl Simpson is saying, I rate 8 out of 10, and if we get the midfield sorted with hopefully 2 players, it will be higher. Question to Colin, what do you rate United?
I rate United.
You may have already said this already, Colin, had you?
No, I rate United's January transfer window 10 out of 10 because we've got rid of Jadon Sancho.
All right, okay. Very good.
Something we broke here 2 weeks ago, by the way. Just put it out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
We were the first channel to break that news. So just let you know. We're ahead of Sky even.
It's a yellow card that for smugness.
I'm allowed to be smug. I'm allowed to be smug today.
Yeah. We'll allow him today. It's back to normal tomorrow. Tomorrow. Wilton McDonald saying Timo. Is that Timo Tainio he's talking about there?
Yeah, Timo.
Yeah, right, okay. That's a blast from the past. And Carl Simpson, I want Højbjerg and Skip both gone. I think Mia, you probably agree with that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think we'll get rid of Skip because of the homegrown quota. But Højbjerg wants to go, so just let him go.
Yeah. Ash, what would you? Would you want Skip and Højbjerg on?
Yeah, for me, they don't.
Either or.
Yeah, for me, they're not. They don't really suit the system. Not progressive enough. I feel like the level drops when they're in the actual side. If I'm being honest, and that's the only thing that worries me against Manchester United. Actually, those two players in the side, either one of them could start. So, yeah, for me, it's a bit of a worry.
Yeah, Dermot, we know where you stand on those two. I think you'd rather be rid of two of them, wouldn't you?
Look, as I said before, Skip needs to go. Skip is championship level for me. Send him back to Norwich. He was great there. That's his level. And for Højbjerg, for me, you've really disappointed me for ducking out of challenges. I defended you with all my might against Mia. Why did I bother? Why did I bother?
And you still lost anyway when we did our thing against each other. So that I was obviously correct. My time to go, innit?
Yeah. And anyway, Jazz Fusion is saying, "Where's my midfielder, Dermot? Finish the job." Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. Look, I'm waiting for an update. As soon as I get it, you will get it first here. This is the channel you can trust for transfer news, and we'll give it to you as soon as we get it.
Now, let me see who else is in the chat here. Jazz Fusion again. More out the door. Yeah, I think that will happen. And Shamu is saying Perisic. Yeah, Perisic should be gone. Shamu saying high wages. People forget there was also no transfer fee for him. Well, that's true. But I suppose when you're looking at a player sitting literally not contributing at all and getting paid big bucks, it's hard. What's the point? And we have Vlad the Impaler in our black line. Get ready for some red cards. I'll tell you, yeah, he might. You know something, Mia, and this is one for you with Christian Romero now alongside him. Will Christian Romero be a calming influence on this guy, or will it be the other way around? You know,
go on.
Go on there. Or will it be the other way around? Will Romero take this guy under his wing and teach him all he knows?
I think with Discusion, I don't think he's actually as bad as Romero, is he? For his discipline.
No, it doesn't seem to be. I don't think.
So I think he times it quite. He changes quite well, and it's unlikely they'll play together. I feel like there's more likely he'll be taking Romero's place, and it'll be Van der Ven. So I think that Discusion's not going to. I think he's going to do his own thing. I don't think he's going to. We've only got one Romero. Let's say that much.
That's true.
The thing is, though, guys, in the Italian league, I don't know the Italian refs if they're a bit more lenient than the English ones.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Anyway, we shall soon find out, because although I just noticed tonight now, the signing is subject to a work permit and international clearance. So hopefully they can get that through tomorrow, because he has to be registered by tomorrow to be eligible to play against United on Sunday. So we'll have to see. Jazz Fusion, remove more dross as well, and it's a 10. Yeah, well, I mean, we will do that. We will do that. And gloaty Moyles again, they are, damn it.
Look, the only reason I'm gloaty is because I'm enjoying actually shoving it up to some people who actually were very not nice to me, and I'm enjoying this bit. So PHILLIP knows what I'm on about.
And also, he has to be right. You know, he has to be right here, because at home, obviously, he's never right, because obviously the lady is always right.
Yeah,
what's the point? You're on dodgy ground putting stuff like that up. I tell you.
Yeah, I tell you what's the point. I meant to say, please behave yourself, or we will time you out. You were rude to Mia with what you put in, and now you're starting to that. What's the point? Behave yourself. If not, I will yellow card you, and you will be timed out. Mods are on there. The mods are doing their job. So behave yourself.
Shamu was saying, wait till the end of the window. Well, we will give another scoring at the end of that. And Discusion had one yellow card all season. Boy, that is good. That is good. That is good.
Yeah. So. Right.
Now, next subject, Dermot. Yeah.
Next subject.
Done that one.
I tell you what, we'll leave that one to the end, PHILLIP. We'll go to
We've done that one. We've done that one.
Yeah, I know. Where has it gone now? Okay, then this fella.
Right. Farewell to Eric Dyer. How would you rate his time at Spurs, good or bad? Now, I'm going to go first on this, because me and Dermot had a disagreement about this earlier, right? I'm going to be very fair to Derek Dyer. He's with us 9.5 years, okay? He's 49 caps for England. He had maybe, I'd say, 6.5 to 7 good years at Tottenham when he was, he was there or thereabouts. He didn't let us down. He's been pretty poor the last couple of years, and we've all suffered as a result of that. We've lost games because of it, down to him, purely down to him. But now he's gone. I'd like to say, listen, Eric, for most of the time you did your business. You're proud to pull on the shirt. Now you've gone to Bayern Munich. Best of luck there. I don't think you'll get much game time, but at least you're going to be away from our club, and we won't have to listen to everybody giving out about you all the time. So I'm going to say, on the score out of 10, I give him a 6 out of 10, and it would have been higher only for the last couple of years. So, Mia, I'm going to pass that one on to you now.
I give him a 5. I think that he has some good moments. He has some good goals. But then the last few years, he has let us down massively. So I would say farewell, and I don't wish anything bad upon anybody. So I won't wish no bad upon him. And I don't like the continuous scapegoat and the real nastiness that comes out in people sometimes towards our players. He wasn't good enough. He hasn't been good enough. So farewell. You get a 5 from me, Eric.
Colin, just as a purely impartial outsider there, what would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I'll look at this as like a coach kind of side of things. I think an average 6. He's been an average player for you, and I think it's a really good deal for him. If I'm going to be honest with you, the Bundesliga isn't as fast paced as the Premier League. I think he will do quite well in the Bundesliga, and I think it suits him a lot more than what the Premier League does. So I think it's a good deal for both parties involved.
Yeah. I'm going to leave Dermot last on this. So, Ash, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'll give him a 1 out of 10. Yeah, I think he's been awful. I'm joking now. No, I think I'll give him you know what? If I'm being fair to him, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. But if I be fair, when he first came, I remember he was meant to be a cultured guy from Sporting Lisbon. He was a right back. I was there for his first game when he scored against West Ham.
Yeah.
And I was at the stadium, Upton Park I was at. And yeah, I see him go around the goalkeeper, score. Then the second game, he scored again, like he was on a little run. And I thought, yeah, this guy's tidy. Then we moved him to midfield. And actually, I had no problem with him there. But he's told the boss, I want to play centre-back. And since he's gone into centre-back, in my opinion, that's where it's all gone wrong. That's where it's all fallen down. Because he was around when we had both like the Belgian wall. They were solid. And I just don't remember him as a centre-back those times. Do you know what I'm saying? But when those guys fell off, or when they got sold or whatever, when they left the club, then it's like, as a centre-back, it's just bad performance or average performance. I can't remember him having a stellar performance, apart from maybe in recent memory when he was at when we played Man City, and that's when Mason told him to be aggressive and follow your man. This man mark him, and I was like, okay, there is still a player in there. But apart from that, I just said, yeah, nah, not for me, man. He's just, and now we've got a new manager. On top of that, he just definitely doesn't suit the system at all. I think Mourinho, was it Mourinho? No, it was Conte that got a tune out of him in the back three. But it was him and Ben Davies he got a tune out of. And that was like that kind of manager bounce, kind of like the first few months where we kind of got into that top 4 and everyone was playing well. And then after that, it was just like I could just see all the deficiency of the player, like the way he turns, his mobility. He passes the buck. I hate this thing. Him and Højbjerg both do it. Like they know it's their fault and they start pointing. I can't stand that. Just take the L, man. Like, but I've got no hostility towards him, even though I'm coming with all this kind of vim. I still say, look, good luck at Bayern Munich. I'm sure you'll do well. And everyone's saying, man, that's how you feel upwards. Literally.
Yeah. There you go. Dermot, last but not least.
1 out of 10. Heap of shite. Glad he's gone. Glad to see the back of you. Let us down too many times.
Don't hold back now.
Oh, no, I'm not going. I'm holding back a little bit. Liverpool gave a go of the way, headed the ball on. I would love to have seen Harry Kane's preparation for Tuchel and the Bayern Munich board when they're saying, let's go and buy Eric Dyer. Did they literally put Eric Dyer's head on Maradona's body or Messi's body or something and say, look, lads, look what we could buy here. Look, he's out of contract. Look, wish him no disrespect. Wish him good luck at Bayern Munich. but by Jesus, you've let me down so many times. And this point, I agree with Ash. This point in here and there, he should have got a job as a traffic cone management man and Tottenham car park for parking cars. That's what he was good for.
He should have played for Arteta. Coman would be really good.
He had half a good season on the Conte. He was a backup on the Poch. He was a not very good defensive midfielder to a worse even centre back.
I think that you're being really harsh. I think when he first come in, I think it's recency bias, and a lot of people did that with Lloris as well. I think you forget.
No, actually, with Lloris, with Lloris,
die the same sort of be fair. I think if you're going to be fair, you've got to surely treat them in the same way.
Look,
right. I'm going to say one thing here now. One thing before you get in there, Dermot.
I can't even finish what I was going to say.
No, I'll let you know in a second. Just to temper the argument a little bit, right? Eric Dyer has got 49 caps for England, right? It was said on Sky Sports tonight, now you can laugh at this if you want, they're going to Bayern Munich will also enhance his chances of getting back into the England team. That's all I'm going to say on it. Carry on, Dermot.
Eric Dyer, look, everyone has their own opinion of Eric Dyer. I wish him all the very best at Bayern Munich. What a club to go to, fair play to him. And to get there, I wish him all success. And Colin is right. The Bundesliga will suit him because it's a slower league. I think the Premier League's too quick for him. But look, the same with Lloris. When Lloris left, I always said Lloris had nine good years, but the last two haven't been very good. Dyer may have had good games for us, but he's never been consistently good. Like Lloris was consistently good for season after season.
I think you're being a bit disingenuous when he first come in. And Carl's right. When you watch Dyer's goodbye video, at least he looked like he cared. Harry Kane even looked like he gave a damn. So he did care about being at Tottenham. And yeah, he weren't the greatest in the last few years.
That's my opinion,
but at least we know he actually wanted to play for our club and our team. And I think people have been really disingenuous with it, basically. I'm not a big fan of Dyer's, but he's gone now. But don't be disingenuous with what he gave us at the beginning of his.
Look, I will have my opinion, me. I won't be told what to say and what not to say.
I'm not telling you what to say. I'm just saying you're being disingenuous. That's not me telling you what to say.
If I am,
I'm saying that's what you're being. Because if you're going to be genuine, then you should think about actually the times he's saying he wasn't ever good for us, which I don't think is true.
Well, I've never liked Eric Dyer as a player anyway. Even when he first came out, I don't think he's good. Look, it's my opinion. I didn't stop when you spoke. I didn't interrupt you when you were speaking. So it was my point. But look, it is what it is. He's gone. The very best of luck to him. I hope he does well at Bayern Munich. And as somebody said in the chat, he will get if he does do well, he may get another team in the Bundesliga. So good luck to him. And
he's only 30.
I'm glad
he's only
to see him
30. He has plenty of time. Listen, I think we should finish this topic off with Eric Dyer and saying, listen, Eric, thanks for your service and good luck in Germany. That's the best thing we can say, I think. So.
Yep, that's
and
it.
we'll move on to the next part of the agenda, which is now. I think our thinking on. I'll just read this comment first. He was part of the team that Poch built and was. Gone. Order in the courtroom. Sorry. Yeah, he was part of the team that Poch built and was a key member. He gave his all, part of the reason we had such good memories from the Poch reign. That's it. That's somebody else's opinion. We're all entitled to it, you know?
Yeah.
So. He was only a backup in the Poch era as well. I know he played well in that, but he was a backup. He wasn't a centre back. Let's all remember that he was a defensive midfielder.
Yeah, so he was good in that position when you played in that position.
Look for me. Look, I'm not.
I'm bringing the hammer down on the Eric Dyer. We finished the subject. We're not going back to it. We'll move on to the next one. Right now,
it's getting juicy.
Yeah. Well, anyway, should agents?
Your popcorn. Is that what you're eating? Is it, Ash? You're eating your popcorn, yeah?
Yeah, man.
This is very relevant to what's been going on in the last few days because Dragusin's agent has not exactly endeared himself to Tottenham fans the way he was carrying on, trying to sell his client to another team. But this is the question: should agents be more regulated, and do they give good agents a bad name? Now, this comes in the light of the FIFA plan to cap the commissions payable to agents has been kicked out basically on appeal, so it doesn't apply anymore. Just to give you a quick rundown about the main talking points about what agents can do and what they can't do, right? Agents cannot act for the player and a club. They can only act for one party in the deal, right? Now, as Dermot rightly said earlier on, if the man was trying to flog Dragusin to Bayern Munich, he was probably doing it with Genoa's blessing, if you like, and he may have broken the rules there, right? But anyway, agents, what they earn. This, I'll go through this, then we can have a discussion on what agents generally do. FIFA wanted the agent's earnings capped at 10% of the transfer fee, right? Which, when you look at it, that's 2.5 million for this guy in Dragusin's agent. That's been kicked out. There's no regulation now what they can earn. Also, this is a bit I thought was very interesting. Players also pay a commission to the agent from their wages every month. And what's in at the moment is if a player earns less than 200,000, more than 200,000 a year, which, let's face it, is practically all of them, he pays 3% of his salary to the agent. And if he earns under 200,000 a year, he pays 5%. So these guys are on big bucks. And a lot of them, I think, are abusing the system. And what FIFA wanted done, which is perfectly legitimate in my mind, they wanted all the fees to be paid directly through FIFA to the Paris clearinghouse, aimed at transparency, so everyone would know where the money was going to. That is no longer going to happen. So they're back into the murky waters of underhand payments, cash in brown envelopes, and whatever. So should
Philip,
agents be more regulated?
Sorry, can I just make a point here? I've just got to get this off my chest. Yeah. AJ, I'm entitled to my opinion. Just because Mira had a different opinion to me doesn't mean you can say what you said. I've never liked Eric Dyer for the performances when he's let us down. When he's let us down against Liverpool. When he's let us down in the past. As I said, he was never a centre-back. He was a defensive midfielder. When we try, instead of buying a centre-back, we tried to change players into positions which they're not good at. Now, there's not bias ruling my brain. I'm a Tottenham fan. I'm entitled to my opinion, like you are, like Philip is, like Ash is, like Colin is.
That's what he's saying. I think.
But I'm just saying that. Look, I understand where you're coming from. I respect Mia's opinion, and Mia respects mine. We always do. So
it wasn't being like that. It was just because he agreed. He basically was agreeing with what I was saying because he felt that you were being biased. And that's what I was saying basically to you. I was saying that you're being disingenuous because you're biased because you don't like him. So you're not giving him any credit for any of the stuff he did that was good. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Let's park that one and move on. No, I've lost my thread now. Okay. Basically, should agents be more regulated, given the fact now that the regulations that FIFA tried to bring in have been kicked down the road by an appeal court? So are there more? Is it open season now? Can they do what they want? Ash?
You know what? It is what it is, man. Football's been corrupt from day dot. And these agents, I think we're more peeved off because of the recent comments, like what this agent's come up and said. He's basically just shitted all over Spurs. He's just saying, look, my player will leave to go to a bigger club. He needs to relax, first of all, because you need to prove your worth first. You've only done 6 months in Serie A. Come to the Premiership, do your thing, and then start talking. I do understand, as an agent, you're there to kind of, that's your product. That's your endorsement, your investment. So you're going to try and sell that player as much as you can and get that player on higher wages if possible. So he's on 50 grand, right? 3 million a year. So yeah. I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to, like, if it all goes well and the appearances and he's going to be wanting to push up his client's pay packet, and hopefully within the next, I don't know, season or two. You saw how quickly it happened with Sarr and Udogie. After their performances were exceptional, they had to get signed on new contracts, and those wages went straight up. So I do understand that side of it. The agent's literally doing his job, trying to talk it up. But yeah, coming back to your question, the clarity, I think, is horrible. There's no clarity, and it just kind of shows how disingenuous this whole game is, because like 5% out of their wages. Now, what is the agent really doing? Like, I don't know, I mean, I get it. Like, come like the summertime, if the player's not happy, then that's when the agent needs to step in. But throughout the game, what are they doing? Why are they getting paid like for doing basically nothing? They're not really doing much. You know, I mean, I guess if their client's not happy, then they'll be looking for other clubs, talking to other agents, you know, doing that type of things. But I just think, yeah, 5% is a lot.
Sorry, go on, Ash. Sorry.
No. I'm just going to re-emphasize that actual point that, you know, like we can't see what's going on, and it's just going into their pocket. It's not clear. But I don't know too much on the subject, so I'll stop on that point.
Yeah, Colin, I know you have to leave at 10, so I'm just going to get you in on this one here. Do you think that we're going to show some slides in a minute about agents' earnings and whatever? But do you think agents are possibly more interested in their own bank balance than they are for the future careers of their clients? You know, would they, if they have two clubs to choose from, will they pick the one that's got paying the highest money, even though that might not be the best move for his client?
It's difficult to say because some agents genuinely care about their players. You know, the players that they're representing. They're not all, pardon, you know, the swearing, but they're not all arseholes. You know, they actually do care, and you've got to look ahead of the agents. I believe it's the FFAU, the Football Federation Agents Union, that have brokered the deal with all the different leagues. You know, they can't operate without, you know, having some sort of deals and regulations in place anyway. They have to get authority to do their job. So they've made contract talks with the Premier League and the Bundesliga, you know, all these different leagues, and they've agreed to these terms.
Right.
So it's their fault anyway that they're getting as much as what they are. So now trying to negate what they've agreed to in principle anyway is going to be a very sticky thing to actually try and get undone.
Yeah. Mia, you know, back in the day, back in the Jimmy Greaves era, say back in the 70s, right? Football agents didn't really exist, you know. And do you think that they've been brought in because players are now have too much, I don't know, there's too much public figures that they can't be seen to be, they haven't got time or maybe the ingenuity to negotiate their own deals? It's just easy way out is to hire a guy, better pay him 5% of my salary than to do the work myself, because they seem to have sprung up from nowhere come the advent of the Premiership. And do you think that the likes of, say, a young player coming up, a 17-year-old, should be having to pay an agent 5% of his wages to get him maybe 2,000 a week at Tottenham, or because that's what the young players get? You know, I know it's a difficult question, but you know, basically, could players not do this themselves?
I guess that it is a lot to manage, especially now because they do come with a lot of responsibilities from a very young age. Don't forget they've got a lot of things going on from a very, like, they're scouted real young, or they are in the academy real young. But Joe, it reminds me of, it's a bit like the Hollywood thing, like Hollywood's agents and that, they're dodgy as, like, anything with big money involved and agents involved is always dodgy. There's always them wheeling, dealing, trying to get the most money out of it that they can from their clients. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we all know what happens with that kind of thing. It's definitely not great, but I think now that it's come in, I don't think that's ever going to stop. And agents, unless they do get regulated, they're just going to do whatever the heck they want. They're not going to, like, players are going to feel they have to have an agent, because it's not just about agent, is it? It's about with their money. They do deal with other things, like anything to do with deals to do with sponsors and stuff. So obviously the agent deals with all of that, so the player can concentrate on playing. So I think it's a lot different nowadays.
And Dermot, just before you bring up that slide you prepared, you know, what's your take on the agents? Do you think the likes of Dragusin's agent would give the good guys? Now, the good agent to me is one you never hear anything about, because he's doing his job quietly in the background. Nobody's complaining. But you get a guy like this gets up to everybody's nose. What do you reckon? Should FIFA try and get these regulations back in again, or are they dead duck?
Look, I think agents are worse for the game than anything. I think you look at what happened with Rudu's agent, him going to Bayern Munich and basically offering, you know, agreeing personal terms on behalf of the player. He's the Radu's not even played the game for us, and he's already bigging them up to go to Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You don't need agents like that in the game. They're ruining the game because they take more money out of the players. The club's got to pay them a load amount of money as well. And we saw that. I think there was sort of a rumor going around that he only got 2.5 million for his player going from Genoa to Tottenham. But if his player went to Bayern Munich, he would have got 3.5 million.
Yeah.
So that's why he was pushing for his player to go to Bayern Munich, because he would have got 1 million more of the transfer. Look, FIFA have to do something. I think it's too late. I think FIFA and UEFA, the Premier League, all the football authorities have left this far too late. I think the horse is bolted now, so there's nothing we can do.
No.
And I hope they get it right for the women's game.
Yeah.
I hope now that the women's game, they learn the lessons from the men game and they get it right for that, because it could be very different from how they act within the women's game and how they're acting within the men's game. The women's game could actually, the men's game can learn a hell of a lot from the women's game if they get it right with these agents.
I'd say the women might drive a hard bargain. The women might drive a harder bargain. Yeah, bring up that slide then, because it's very, very interesting when you compared about the earnings these guys have.
Yeah.
So
this was the this was basically. Do you want to read this out, Philip?
Yeah. The regulations adopted by the FIFA Council in December 22, following an extensive consultation process with all key international football stakeholders. The new rules would guarantee. This has now been kicked out, by the way. New rules will guarantee minimum professional and ethical standards for the occupation of football agent, including a mandatory licensing system. The initiative is part of FIFA's efforts to modernize the football regulatory framework and to protect the good functioning of the football transfer system. It was appealed by the agents themselves, and the agents have actually won their case. So agents were paid about $500 million in 2022. Jeez, when you look at that, $500 million. Oh, no, it's euros, sorry. Compared to a 24% increase compared to the previous year. Agents' fees for international transfers in 2023 are nearing 1,800 million sterling, according to football's world governing body, FIFA. Now, could that money not be spent somewhere else in the game to improve facilities, to improve, agents should take a decent living wage, or slightly more. But my God, 800 million sterling is just mind-boggling. Now, I'm not going to go on to the rest of it there, but Saudi Arabia is a case in point. I think, Dermot, you did that bit about Saudi Arabia there.
Yeah. It basically what it is, the clubs in the Asian Football Association, which Saudi Arabia is part of, spent 1.03 billion, which is 830 million, which represent 14% of the total international transfer spend. FIFA confirmed it's the first time ever that spending on transfer fees by clubs from any other sort of football area other than UEFA has surpassed 10% of the global term. So I want to ask, can I ask a question to the panel, Philip, if that's okay?
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
I want to start with Mia, and then I go to Colin, and then you, Ashla, and then I'll let you go last. Mia, look, you see the figures there in front of you, aside from nearly 2 billion spent by English club. Is Saudi Arabia, the Saudi Pro League, they're driving up the transfer fees, right? Will this bubble go burst, or does it have to go burst for football to get back to some sensible transfer fees again? Because some of these players are not worth the money that clubs are paying for them at the moment, are they?
No, I think it will. I think it will naturally happen. I don't think it has to go completely boom, but I do think it will happen because more players are going to the Saudi League and wanting to leave. So then that means less players will want to go to the Saudi League because they'll think, hold on, everyone's going and leaving. So I think that it will just cause less people to go there, if I'm honest. And so I think it will slow down at some point. I think that will happen.
Ash, Colin, I know you have to go soon, so I'll go to you next. Where do you think this will end up? And as you can see there, deals done since the 1st of December, including Gray's move from Everton to Al Ittihad, was 3,100% rise on the year earlier, underlining Sorry, I just
Okay.
muted Philip there for a minute. Underlining the change in strategy around football recruitment. Is football on dangerous grounds at the moment, Colin?
No, it's not. If you actually do I say a little bit, it's quite a lot of digging in and research and talking to people, within the game and all that kind of stuff, and people that work within it. The Saudi League is kind of strayed away from what it's actually wanting to do anyway at the moment. It's brought in the players currently, like it's got in, like some of the youngster players, Jota and Gray and people like that, because they're trying to establish themselves. However, their actual aim is to bring players over, well-known players, i.e. Cristiano Ronaldo, Benzema, these kind of players that are coming to the end of their career. So people in that country can get to see these players before they leave. The likes of Jota and everybody that they've got at the moment was never their intention of actually getting them. It didn't actually fit the profile of players that they wanted. They wanted the high, big name profile players. And obviously, some of the players are wanting to leave. As somebody said, I think it was Mia said it. Players are wanting to leave. Jordan Henderson wants to go already. The Saudi League will destroy itself because of this. Football hasn't got to worry about it because Saudi will destroy itself, and then you'll just see money come back into the Premier League, and it'll probably return back to normal.
Very good.
Yeah.
Go
on. Yeah.
Now, who's next?
Ditto. I've even heard Gabby Vega. Now that's a player I will go for. He's unhappy at the moment. He's spoken out recently saying how he's unhappy and he wants to leave as soon as he can. So a lot of these agents, they're not even doing their due diligence and researching the actual area, seeing if they would suit their clients, if it would be, they're seeing the money and they're thinking about themselves first. They're thinking about their pockets. And that's never a good sign. And I'm just going back to Dragusin, his agent. And I'm thinking the same thing. I had just read his father's statement. And I think his father should be his agent, if I'm being honest, because his father's written a far better response to what his agent said. Like on the first day, like someone signs, you don't talk about other clubs. Like how disrespectful. Like what common sense is that as well? That's just bad business. Business is all about relationships, how you treat people, and building bridges. Right now, he's not building any bridges. But yeah, coming back to this actual Saudi league, I have to agree with you guys. I think it was only a matter of time. A lot of the players that were, acclimatizing, they were from a similar culture in terms of their belief system. They were had their faith of Islam. They were Muslim, and so in that culture, it's pretty much, you pray, you go home, you go to work, and then you go home to your wife. It's more simple, but for like your everyday Westerner, it's slightly different. And so these deals that they're trying to, push over, it's definitely it's just money. It's just a money thing. You can just see it. That's the only reason. Look, Jordan Henderson was meant to be representing the LGBTQ community. Forgot the letters, sorry. And basically he was like middle finger up, I'm gonna get paid. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So like once that money, like not everything is money, if that makes sense. Sometimes you just need to kind of, because they're getting paid anyway. As a footballer, you get paid handsomely, but I guess they thought it was a once in a lifetime situation. Now they're realizing they're no longer happy and they're away from. Some of them, they've moved their families over, but their families, I reckon it's some of the families, their wives aren't happy, girlfriends aren't happy, and that's the reason why they're having to come back.
Yeah, it's a big culture shock because it's a completely different culture over there. Like, I don't think that they get really told about it. Actually, I think that they're not really like informed enough. And the wives go there thinking, luxury life, but it ain't like that over there. Do you know what I'm saying? There's quite strict rules.
Colin Henderson should have known the danger signs when they arrived over there. They made this very expensive video to herald his arrival, and he was wearing an LGBTQ rainbow sticker on his shirt. And when the video was released, that was edited out. It was blurred out. So he should have known there was a problem there. Is that everybody's views on that one, Dermot, or do you want to carry on?
I just want to say big up the column. I know you got to shoot off column.
Yeah,
so
thanks,
do you want to give your channel a plug, column, before you go, where everyone can find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me on here. Sorry I couldn't stay any longer, but I'm a very busy man and I'm tired as well. You can find me over at the Full-Time Sports Network. I will be having a rest day tomorrow and mentally preparing myself for the Spurs game, which will be streamed on the Full-Time Sports Network. So I'll be back then.
Right.
Are you streaming that on there? Are you joining us, Colin? What you doing for that game?
Well, we'll joint stream it. Why not?
Yeah. So do you want to come on to our one then? Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I'll get berated by you two for 90 minutes.
Oh, no, I know what you're not like that. You could be the other way around, Colin.
I hope it is.
Well, listen, Colin, thank you for everything you've done. You're a massive help to the channel, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you.
No worries, guys. Thank you, guys. Enjoy.
See you, Colin.
Yeah, 10 again. Glow growing Man United.
10 again, right.
Lasers out. Anyway,
anyway, Bryce, where are we now?
I just want to say this last thing at the bottom here before we get everyone to plug their channels and we're end off. FIFA confirmed at least one agent, I just read this down, I couldn't believe it, acted on behalf of a club in 73 of those 829 transfers. The total amount paid to the agents involved in the women's deals was worth $900,000, which is nearly £722,000, more than 30% of the overall spend.
It's
so
it's small money compared to the men's game, though, isn't it?
Well, just one question to Mia, because Mia, the women's game, and I know you do it with Ellie and Kate as well. You look on the women's side of the game as well. Can you see? Is there a growth in transfers now in the women's game?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
there's definitely, because you see the league, the women's league, is becoming more and more popular. It's becoming bigger, so you do see the transfers coming in. Like we recently got one at the women's team done. I can't think of her name now off the top of my head, but we did get one done recently. So yeah, I think that definitely now that it's becoming more popular, it will of course obviously grow, and obviously agents will be involved. I'm in the wrong business. I should have been an agent.
There you are now. There you are.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, anyway, listen, Mia, while you're there, plug your channel, please. Spurs Between the Lines.
Yes, if you'd like to come over, please come over. Spurs Between the Lines, subscribe. I do daily content at the moment with my transfer updates in the mornings. I release it nice and early, so I get the news out nice and early for everybody. I do my reviews and previews of games. I do a match reaction with the girls, and I do today's debate with the girls too. So I've got plenty of content.
Yeah, get over and watch. There's a great wee channel there, and Mia puts a lot of heart and soul into it. So get over there. She's, Scrappy Doo lives over in Spurs Between the Lines. And Ash, you're on a plug your channel there as well, please. Without Few Coys.
Yeah, South Few Coys. Yeah,
tell us what we're on again.
So we've got a preview show tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, with Haas, Scarfy, and TJ giving their views on the Manchester United game. We've also got a post-match reaction on the actual game on the Sunday, so look out for that. And then I have a little breakdown again on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we've got a rival show again. So yeah, guys, make sure you tune in. Yeah, subscribe to us, South Few Coys, man.
And if you haven't watched this week's rivals, if you want to get riled up by an Arsenal fan, trust me, I was so tempted because I was angry when I even heard him. I had to switch it off because he made me so mad, and I didn't want to have the angry type.
Oh dear! Oh dear!
Literally,
right for the faint-hearted. So, but yeah. Yeah, guys, just make sure you add a sub, and big up to DERMOTRON and Mr. Brady over here, giving us the latest transfers. As always, make sure you guys tune in, man. I make sure I'm gonna watch for the latest transfer. Breaking news, by the way, guys. I don't know if you broke this one. I don't know if I'm allowed. Am I allowed to break news on your
Yeah,
channel?
if you want to.
Yeah. Of course.
No, I just saw something about Dan Juma going to Leon. I don't know if you broke that one already.
I heard
Oh,
that.
right.
I was watching Talk Sport the other day. His agent was actually talking to Simon Jordan and Jim White, and he mentioned about a French side. But
Yes,
yeah. So he's very happy though at Everton though. But he
Yeah,
wants
I mean,
regular
it's
football.
interesting. I mean, he didn't survive Spurs, and then all of a sudden, he may not survive Everton either. He may go straight onto to another club.
I think that'd be a good move for him, actually. I think
so.
I think it'd be a good move. I liked him. I really liked him at Spurs.
I thought he would have worked for an attacking
same,
system.
Yeah.
What do we ask? What are we doing in the next couple of days?
Right. Tomorrow, of course, we're on at 4:00 with our transfer update show. Tomorrow night, me and Philip at 9 are doing the review of the transfer week, where we're going to go over all the deals from Tottenham and around the grounds and around everywhere. Saturday, we're on at 1:45 with around the grounds. Premier Saturday is back. Premier League, everywhere. We're going to follow teams from up and down the league as we give you the latest. The Cockerel I even said it myself without Carl helping me. So first time I've done that myself without anyone tempting me. I called it by what it shouldn't be called. The Cockerel Clock podcast is back, where me and Philip, we're going to have latest course transfer news, a look ahead to the Man United game, and also me and Philip separately are picking our all-time Spurs Premier League 11 from 92-93 up to the end of last season. So me and Philip are going to pick 33 players each from the whole Premier League era. That includes managers, formations, and we're going to live on the podcast. We're going to give, I don't know how we're going to, we are still working it out, but we're going to whittle it down to 50. Is it 15 players, Philip?
We're going to do 11 players and 5 subs.
5 subs, formations, and managers as well. So join us for that. And of course, we've got the watch along on Sunday as well. And for you members, we've got the pre-game thoughts, we've got our predicted lineup, and also DERMOTRON's History Corner is back as well, as I go back through the years of Tottenham versus Manchester United all down the years. And I found some cracking stats. Like, I found one today very quickly, guys, that Dennis Law in the first division, for the whole first division up to 92-93, is the leading goal scorer against Tottenham, against Man United for the whole history. There's only one Tottenham player in there, and it was Jimmy Greaves. All the rest of them are Man United players. So that says it all.
Gem of information there from Dermot. Well, listen, folks, we're going to wrap it up there. Thanks to everybody who's been in watching us tonight, and also into the chat. The chat's been manic. And also thanks again to our special guests, Ash from Southside Boys and Mia from Spurs Between the Lines. And thank them for coming on again. Also, DERMOTRON for letting me muddle my way through hosting the show. And all I can say is big game Sunday, win that game on Sunday. And the future is so bright with the players coming back from injury, along with the new guys.
And my new nickname is now ROMOTRON Tier 1.5 because I'm one short.
Here we go.
I'm half short of the It was actually
shameless, man.
It's been off now to get new batteries installed.
Sean gave me that nickname today on Dave's channel. Sean gave me that nickname, so I was
going to call you that, but I didn't want you to get upset. So I was
Sean called that actually. So, right, Sean, you've given me a new name. I'm going to run with it.
Right, and at that, run the closing head, Mr. Please. Thank you.
Yes, okay. Hang on. I'm going to give myself something here for arguing with Mia. Sorry.
So, yeah, that's you banned for 3 programs, Thomas.
What about Mia? She not getting on.
So rude. Should get yellow for starting it, trying to stir up in it.
Hang on. Should it go to VAR? Should that go to VAR?
Philip, they'll get it wrong. They'll get it wrong anyway.
Jazz Fusion's team Mia. See, I've got someone on my side.
Okay, can I just say, Philip is the VAR man. So do the VAR thing, Ash, and we'll send this to Philip. Right, Philip is the VAR. No.
Sorry, that line wasn't straight enough. Could you draw it again there, please?
On that bombshell. Good
On
night.
that bombshell, guilty. Sorry, yeah, offside.